I have two goals for this week. Complete the panel layout for the first page of Roach Girl, and the second is to create a character sheet. If I can depict Yvonne, like the main character sheet, you didn't even know her name was Yvonne, right? If I can depict her in a character sheet and get her angles down, I think it'll be a lot easier to be able to be consistent with her in the comic itself. It's been a while since I've made a character sheet.
I'm Kintia.
Hi, I'm Kintia. Nice to meet you. And you've seen the video, you've seen the clip. There's no need for me to stall any further. So we're just gonna dive into it. This is day 5 of working on my mini comic Roach Girl. So I started with the character sheet because I hadn't done a character sheet in forever. And the process for this was so nostalgic. The last time I remember scrolling on Pinterest looking for character sheets was when I was in 12th grade. I found a few ideas that I resonated with, and I decided to use those as guides for my own. The next step was to find character references for Yvonne. This wasn't difficult because I have a Pinterest board dedicated to figuring out the mood for Roach Girl, the comic. I went in and created a subsection for Yvonne, specifically her clothes, so that I could get a better feel for the vibe that she has, for the person that she is, so that she can truly feel like a person. Yvonne is an alternative girly because of course she is. So I for her style, I was thinking more goth, like grunge and goth at the same time. Some of the references I used for her style was Kat from Wendell and Wild, Black Goth Girls, because if you look like me and you're looking for goth girls that look like you have to put black in front of it. Sad, but it's the way of the world. Black grunge outfits, black grunge goth outfits, and hood goth. I also took a stab at looking at other subgenres of goth, so things like cyber goth, romantic goth, Victorian goth, stuff like that, just so I could get a better gauge for Yvonne's style overall. By the end of day 5, I was exhausted and my brain was fried from looking at screens all day. So I decided to save the actual drawing for day 6. I forgot how to draw. While saying that I forgot how to draw bit was a bit dramatic, I was reminded of the tedium that is sketching. Sadly, I have gotten very rusty when it comes to drawing what I see. By the end of Roach Girl's drawing, she looked nothing like the model I chose for her. I did a rough sketch of her face and body, but I wasn't really happy with the end part because she looked too much like me. Not that there's anything wrong with looking like me. I just think it's tacky for me to put in like a character insert when technically all of my stories are kind of character inserts or self inserts. So I think it's like a little too on the nose for me to have a character that looks exactly like me. But I do think it's important for my type of features to be depicted in my stories. I also have a kind of thing with my characters where I do intentionally make them have round faces and high cheekbones because I don't see a lot of that. Whenever I see a black girl and she is like representing us, she doesn't have a round face. She doesn't have a round face like I have. So, I'm willing to make the sacrifice of her look resembling me just a little bit. I ended up updating the character reference for Yvonne. Instead of a random woman on Pinterest, I decided to go with my niece because I want to show that monoracial black girls are beautiful too. I want all of my nieces to know that their beauty is honored, recognized, and needed. And what better way to do that than to create these beautifully complex black girl characters who depict the people who I love the most. I think there's no better way to do that. It's definitely a pattern I want to keep up because the world wants to convince us that we're not beautiful. And I refuse to accept that type of programming. And I refuse to accept that for my nieces as well. Society doesn't want us to know how beautiful we are. And so I've made it my mission to ensure that every Black woman that I come across knows how beautiful they are, specifically my babies, TT babies. Moving on to day 7. Hello. It is the next day, and last time I said we were going to talk. Last time I did a character sheet for Yvonne, and now this go around I'm going to be focusing on the panel layout completely. I love comics, I love the medium, but I am not looking forward to doing this panel layout again. Completing it, I can't wait to finish, but I complain a lot, but it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done. Day 7 was more of a revision day than anything else. I ended up redrawing the first panel with more of the comics format in mind. Put Yvonne like over here instead because I remember from comics class that it's important to direct your reader's eyes. So if I put Yvonne on the side where like over here, like more in the center or whatever, it would better direct your eyes to go to the next panel. And then I get to show you the detailed photo, like how I drew her posing for this. She's crouched on the floor, setting the weight scale on the floor. She's putting the weight scale on the floor in front of the mirror on the back of her room door. That's the reason why I decided to take up the why I made the difference that I made. And usually I have to really regulate my perfectionism because I will sit at that little table and just draw until I'm hungry and numb and my fingies hurt and I'm physically incapable of doing anything else. Mentally sane, wait. But this time my perfectionism really came in clutch because the format, I gotta say, it flows better. It's better. Kintia may have known what she was doing. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I have so much fun hanging out with you. And if you like my face, if you like what I talk about, and if you like this in general, remember to like and subscribe. And hit the post notification bell so that you're alerted every time I post. Once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. I feel so bogged down by the tedium that comes along with this. So, what I kind of want to do is create a bunch of process, like comic vlogs that are low effort, and I can just do like a bit of a talk over because it seems as if these are going to take a hell of a lot longer than I could have ever anticipated, which is fine. I'm not upset. It's just, I have to just reaccommodate where I see some room for change. That's all.